Hello everybody, it's Ahmed Ali, aka Ahmed Nomadic. We're here at the Breath and Poetry Collective spot. We run every Tuesday, which is the Rouge Lounge. It's at 117 in Jasper, and that is the format.
So that was my night at Rouge Lounge, and 2 days later I found out there was a slam poetry finals. And Musa, how was that?
It was great. As a matter of fact, Mary and Ahmed were there in attendance, along with other great performers. Full house, a lot of finger snapping going on. If you want to know about the finger snapping, you got to go check them out. And guess who was in attendance?
Who?
Ian Kedeku, 2010 World Poetry Slam champion. We got to chopping it up, you know, talking a little bit about where he's been and what he's been doing, and just reflecting. So let's act like Tom and peep this.
Yeah, the competition was absolutely pomegranates. The poets from top to bottom were absolutely beautiful. They were spitting some wonderful knowledge, everything from comedy to world issues to personal introspection. All the issues were covered tonight. I laughed, I cried, I stomped my feet. It was an absolute beautiful night, and really proud of what Edmonton has become in terms of its poetry scene. It's a really vibrant and really exciting scene.
How long have you been doing slam poetry for?
I've been a slam poet for the past 3 years and a full-time poet for the past 2.
Okay. See, kids, look, 3 years and he's a world champion.
I started my roots here in Edmonton too, so you know, it's all good, right?
What differentiates slam poetry in comparison to conventional poetry?
Right. Well, we like to say that slam poetry is not your grandmother's poetry, you know what I mean? Slam poetry, because it's a competition, is very intense. Sometimes it's fierce. People are really bearing their hearts and their souls on the stage. Conventional poetry, you can read it. It can be written, but slam poetry is meant to be performed. So it's a three-dimensional experience. Not only are you seeing what's going on, you're hearing what's going on, but you're also feeling what the performer has to say.
Okay. And where do you draw your inspiration?
Oh my goodness, you know, life is inspiration. Today we heard Ahmed Ali talking about his receding hairline, you know. I talk about my laptop, social justice, you know what I mean? Life is poetry, and poetry lives everywhere. There's an old Zimbabwe saying, and Talib Kweli used it in one of his songs, that says, if you can walk, you can dance, and if you can talk, you can sing. So, you know, since the moment that we've been able to communicate, we've been speaking poetry. Poetry is one of these beautiful things where, you know, you get to travel and spread your voice and really tell people what's on your mind and what's on your heart. And, you know, I thank God that I'm alive and I keep on getting to do that.
I wanna open you up and turn you on. Push all the right buttons just to get you going. Your kisses are like ellipses, I'm caressing your backspace. We escaped to a space bar, none dysfunction, got my kneecaps locked. Now I don't care if you're square, nobody's in here, just me and you and clips from YouTube, but you're getting old, Miss Vista. I miss the old Miss Vista. Used to go where I go and be where I be, and you joined me to Starbucks even though you don't drink. Used to stay up all night when I had a paper due. You'd fly with me on planes and you'd walk me to school. You never used to care when the young kids wanted to play or when my friends would come over and say, hey, yo, Ian, buddy, your computer really sucks, dude. But you're getting old, Miss Vista. I miss it. Mac? Mac is just the girl I do video editing on.
Oh, jeez. Oh. So, Musa, tell us about the final results.
I don't want to wreck that for the audience. I had a chance to speak with Bert from Breath and Poetry, and let's have him tell us what the results are.
Cool.
The poets who advanced are Mary, Colin, give me a second, it just happened, Ahmed Ali, Liam, and Marlon Wilson as the surrogate.
What was the highlights?
Well, definitely one of the highlights. Marlon Wilson came in fifth place as the surrogate as a result of going over time. He had a really good poem that, yeah, if he didn't go over time, it would have guaranteed that he had made the team 100%.
Now that was a dope interview with Ian Kedeku, Musa. What were your thoughts on that night?
That night, the atmosphere was fantastic. It was crazy. a lot of people in there. I didn't know what to expect. It blew me out of the water. And yeah, all in all, it was great. Ian Ketaku, you have to check him out. Fantastic artist. And over here, who do we have?
This right here, this is my homeboy Adrian. And when you see this guy, that can only mean one thing.
It's time for the Black Book Sessions. Tag is a fundamental unit of graffiti. This is a graffiti writer's first encounter with letter structure, and where they first learn their style. From here you move up to throwies and burners. Today I'm going to show you 3 different hand styles, something aggressive, something called a one-liner, and a little something different. Basically, most graffiti artists would start in their black book, and they're going to learn their tag, perfect it by doing it thousands of times on paper first, then they're going to bring it out to the streets. This is what you should do too. You want your style to be straight. So one-liners are a style of tag made with a single motion. The graffiti artist's marker never has to leave the paper and their finger never has to leave the can. This is one of the quickest styles of tag to make and one of the most efficient. This is a more aggressive style of tag utilizing some flares. A flare is when a line goes from being really skinny to really thick within the same line segment. This style is used when you have a fat cap for a spray can or when you're using a calligraphy tip marker. So with the last style here, we're just going to have some fun, and that's a really important part of being a graffiti artist, is just incorporating what you see and developing your own style out of that.
We got coverage of Hip Hop in the Park coming at you next on The Format.